Welcome everyone. Today we will be solving the subset max problem from Codeforces round 670 division 2. This is the problem statement. Please pause the video if you would like to take a look. Let's look at an example. We are given an array of size 6. We have to divide this array into two subarrays such that the sum of max of these two subarrays is maximum. Now what does max mean here? Max is the smallest positive integer that is not present in an array. For example, consider the subarray 1. The smallest positive integer is 0, but 0 is present. Next is 1. 1 is also present. Next is 2. 2 is also present, and next is 3. So the max of subarray 1 is 3. Now the subarray 2. The smallest positive integer is 0, which is present. The next is 1, which is also present. Next is 2, but 2 is not present in this array. So max of subarray 2 is 2. The sum of these two, 3 and 2, is 5, and that's our answer. Now let's solve the problem. Logically speaking, we are dividing the array into two subarrays. But we don't really need those subarrays to get the solution. We only need the max of subarray 1 and the max of subarray 2, that is A and B. Also, to solve this problem we will use a map. What the map will give us is the number of times an element has occurred in the main array. To initialize the map, we will use the following logic while taking the input. So now let's find A and B. To find A and B, we will run a loop from 0 till we don't find our answer. 0 is the smallest positive integer and we will use num as the counter. We will also initialize A and B to -1 and we will use -1 as a flag. So let's start the loop. In the loop, we will check the conditions from the smallest positive integer, that is 0, till we get our answer. We will use a variable count which will fetch us the value from the map. If the value is not at all present in the map, then it will give us 0. Now there are three cases to consider. What if the number of times an element has occurred in the main array is 2 or more than 2? In this case, we can distribute the element in such a way that at least the element occurs once in our subarray. That means that element won't be the smallest positive integer present in the subarray. For example, if the number of times 0 occurs is 2, then we can distribute the 0 in such a way that both the subarrays have at least one 0. So 0 won't be the smallest positive subarray that is not present. And we can increment the value of num and continue. That's the case when value of count is 2 or more than 2. Now when the value of count is 1, that is only one time the element is present. In this case, we can only add the element to one of the subarrays. That means for the another subarray it will become max. So we will check the value of A. If it is not -1, that means such a case has already occurred. But if the value of A is -1, then we will update the value of A to num. Now the last case, which is when the value of count is 0. This means the element is not at all present. That is, the smallest positive integer that we are currently discussing is not at all present in the main subarray. That means we can return our answer. So there are two cases. What if earlier one of the above cases was encountered and the value of A was updated? If the value of A is updated, then we will return A plus the max of the next subarray. But if the value of A was not updated, that means that the current smallest positive value is the max of both the subarrays. That's why we will return num plus num. This will be clear with an example. Consider this. Our main array had two number of zeros, two number of ones and only a single 2. So according to our algorithm, we have two zeros. So we will distribute the zeros in such a way that both the sub arrays get at least one zero. So we will just increment the value of num and continue. Next is 1. Our main array had two number of ones. So in this case also we can distribute 1 in such a way that both the sub arrays have at least one number of 1. So we just increment the value of num and go to the next value. The next value is 2. We only had single element 2 in the main array. So we could either add it in sub array 1 or sub array 2. Let's say we decided to add it in sub array 2. So for sub array 1, 2 is the smallest positive integer which is not present in the sub array. So the value of max for sub array 1 becomes 2. Now we increment the value of num. So the value of num becomes 3. Now no 3 was present in the main sub array. So for sub array 2, the minimum, the smallest positive value that is not present in the sub array is 3. So the max of sub array 2 becomes 3. So we return a plus num. I hope the example was clear enough.